Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode here at WILDMAN Lifts. I'm your host, WILDMAN. So on today's episode, as you can see, I've got my bucket here. It's full of rice, and I'm going to be doing some of my tendon repair that I showed in one of my previous videos. So if you haven't seen that yet, go ahead and take a look at it. Simply, all I'm going to do is just put my hands into the rice and then open my hand and pull it out very slowly over and over again for 100 repetitions. And this is to make sure that my tendon strength is balanced all around with both the primary and with the antagonistic movement. While I'm doing this, I'm going to be doing a Q&A again. I only have 3 questions, and that's what we're going to do. So let's get to it. So the first question is, am I on steroids? No, I'm not on steroids. I classify myself as what the fitness industry calls as a natty. Natty is somebody who is not on steroids, who lifts recreationally, might compete occasionally, but does not take any steroids or any enhanced substance that's going to give them an edge over competition. I'm actually going to do an entire video one day about steroids, and I'll explain in that video why I don't take steroids. I'm not knocking people that do. I just think that if you're going to take steroids, you got to know what you're getting yourself into, and you need to know your science and what kind of commitment you're making, and if it's overall worth it for what you're taking it for. So short answer, no, I'm not on steroids, and I'll be making a whole entire video about steroid use in the near future. The next question is, why do I always program strongman movements into my workouts? Well, the simple answer again is because I enjoy doing strongman. That's number one. Number one is I want to stay healthy and fit, and doing strongman movements gets me excited to come to the gym. I don't see coming to the gym as a chore or as something that I just need to do, and it's something that I dread doing. I actually enjoy coming to the gym. And when I was doing powerlifting and CrossFit and bodybuilding, that held my attention for a little bit, but nothing really got me excited from doing the same old by going to the gym. Strongman movements is what gets me excited to come to the gym, and so that's what I do it. And the other reason I do strongman movements is because I feel like it's very applicable in real life. Like when you talk about functional fitness, I feel like strongman movements are more functionally fit than any other strength sport that's out there, and that's just my opinion. So the third question is, out of the 4 main strength sports, which ones do I think have the strongest athletes? So when I think of strength sports, the 4 sports that I think of is obviously strongman, which you could guess I'm pretty impartial to, right? I would also classify powerlifting as another big strength sport. Bodybuilding, of course, you got to think about Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lou Ferrigno and all those big men back in the day that used to put up some big heavy weight and looked monstrous. And CrossFitters, and alongside CrossFitting, I guess I would also add Olympic weightlifting. So if you look at the mission statements for each sport, like on World's Strongest Man, when you watch World's Strongest Man on TV, what's the purpose of the tests that they're doing for their athletes? And they claim that they're looking for the world's strongest man or woman. That's what they say. These tests are designed, loaded carries, overhead pressing, deadlifting, squatting, pulling and pushing, buses and boats. All of that determines whether or not somebody is the strongest competitor on the field. And I think that over the years, Strongman has done a very good job of putting out tests that are different every year, that are able to test athletes to see if they are who they say they are, which is they're strongest on earth. I don't think any other sport claims that. Powerlifting, if you look at their mission statement, they want to know who can lift the most weight combined out of 3 powerlifting movements: the back squat, the bench press, and the deadlift. They don't claim that they're the strongest in the world. They're just claiming They're looking for the person who can lift the most total off of those 3 lifts. Even CrossFit, they say that their sport is to look for the fittest person on earth. They're not looking for the strongest people on earth. Now, they do lift big weights. A lot of them can lift a lot more weight than I can, and also run a marathon. So I give CrossFit credit where it's due. But they're not looking for the strongest person on earth. They're looking for the fittest. And they claim, which is debatable, that their sport has the accurate testing for finding the fittest on earth. Bodybuilding does not claim to be the strongest people on earth either. They're basically, and I'm not trying to diss bodybuilding in any way. I have the utmost respect for bodybuilders because they seem to be the most disciplined out of any strength athlete I've ever seen. But they're claiming that they can win a beauty contest better than everybody else. You know, they get on stage and there's judges that are going to determine, oh, I like the way your muscles look. I don't like the way your muscles look. Your muscles are bigger than his and more symmetrically defined, so you win. That's kind of what bodybuilding is. So they're not claiming to look for the strongest people on earth either. They're just trying to win the biggest and overall most definition that they can possibly achieve. And Olympic weightlifting, again, they only claim that they're looking for the person who can lift the most weight in an Olympic snatch and or an Olympic clean and jerk, and what's the total of that weight as well. So really the only sport that claims that they're looking for the strongest person on earth is Strongman. And in my opinion, I feel like that Strongman does a very good job at finding out who those athletes are through the rigorous testing that they do. So my answer is Strongman. I really appreciate you hanging out with me this morning. Again, if you haven't seen what I'm doing on my last videos, please check it out where I go into great detail, and I'll put the link down to that video in my description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.